Gary, a 1-0 victory over Hendon this afternoon. How would you summarise today's performance?
Hard fought against a really good team that were in great form. They've not conceded a goal in their last 4 league games, and that's a fitting tribute to the work that Lee and obviously Ian have done. Mark as well. I think they've got a real team that are playing for each other. Thought they defended brilliantly. They were a threat, and they made it as difficult as we expected it to be for us. So I did feel we was unfortunate on 2 or 3 moments in the first half. A couple of really good saves from the goalkeeper. We tried to be as patient as we possibly could in the first half, but I felt our final ball was lacking. I felt our execution of final ball into the areas that we got ourselves into were poor. I tinkered and changed the shape sort of towards the latter stage of the second half, and I felt we found a bit of impetus and stuck with it second half. But I think you would say we were deserved winners, but a lot of credit needs to go to our opposition.
We had a handful of chances to break the deadlock in the second half in particular, but just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. What would you say needs to be improved upon in that department ahead of Tuesday's visit of Horsham?
Well, I think you have to give opposition credit sometimes. I think we've worked the goalkeeper 4 or 5 times and he's made 4 or 5 excellent saves. And sometimes credit needs to be given to your opponent. We've definitely, as I've said to you in recent weeks, we've got to be a little bit more efficient and a bit more clinical. That is something that we are working on. We're working on it tirelessly. We're adding to the group as well, as you can see, with a new addition, who I thought we've done extremely well and will only get better within our group. But yeah, look, we've got the personnel that can be efficient. Some would argue that they've not quite been there this year as consistently as they would like to be, or they would like them to be. But it's another win. It's a game, as I've just said, that we've deserved to win. Could it have been a little more comfortable? Of course it could, but we was up against, as I say, resolute opposition and a football club that is, I have a close affinity with. I've said that in my programme notes. It's a team that I care about, but today they were obviously our opponents, and we needed to make sure we got our job done. And however we got the win today, I felt was going to be right, because it was one of them sort of fixtures and games that we knew on paper was tough, and it was about getting over the line, and we've managed to do that and gain a valuable 3 points. But you're right, we can be a bit more efficient, but that can be said for a lot of teams at most levels of football.
We announced the return of Femi Akinmunde yesterday, and he started today. What did you make of his display?
Powerful, strong, leadership. Earned us some really good free kicks that that it will be important going forward. Got himself into a couple of really good places. I thought the header across the front that sort of skimmed the post in the first half, and his long range effort that the goalkeeper I was right behind made a great save with. He's going to be really good for us. He can play in 2 or 3 different positions. We do want to get him through the middle with one other when we can. It does mean we've got to have a little tinker with our shape and make sure we've got the personnel behind that to back that up. But I think Femi's going to be a fantastic asset. And when it was presented to me, it was someone we tracked in the summer. It really was. But when it was presented to me this week, I needed the support of the board, and the board again come through like you would, wouldn't say would expect them to, but a board that are really keen for us to be successful, a board that are really pushing for this football club to be progressive, and they've been nothing but supportive, but they were very much that this week, because it was I think a great addition to the changing room, and I'm sure he will bring plenty to both the changing room and the terraces over the coming weeks.